But tonight, let's get to hear from one of the anointed aspirants. Tonight, I'm being joined by a former senator who represented Bauchi South Senatorial District in the Red Chamber from 2007 to 2010. He served as a vice chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, and also a secretary, Northern Senators Forum. In 2010, he was appointed by former President Goodluck Jonathan, whom he, based on his activism on the floor of the Red Chamber, on the issue of necessity at the time, based on the lacuna in the law, which helped President Jonathan becoming acting president, then eventually president. Now, he was then appointed by Goodluck Jonathan as Minister of the FCT and later moved from his party, the then Nigeria People's Party, to the PDP. In 2019, he defeated an incumbent governor to become the governor of Bauchi State and PDP presidential aspirant. Tonight, I'm being joined by Senator Bala Mohammed. He joins us right here in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Sheon, for having me here.
Let me, before we get into politics, let's get to get an update of the disaster that happened on Friday and in Bauchi. What is the latest? What's the latest that you can tell us about that incident?
Which one?
The accident, yeah.
Which accident?
The one reported on Friday.
That?
Where a Volkswagen vehicle had an accident on the express.
Yes, this is a normal accident that happened, and then the traffic agencies are really looking at it because, you know, Bauchi is a gateway to all the geopolitical zones of the north, and so I cannot say precisely what happened, but certainly it has been investigated and those involved have been treated.
All right, let's get into the business why we invited them. Thank you for honoring the invitation. First and foremost, if you hear what Governor Tambuwa said, it does look like someone who was played, because he said there was an agreement that this was not working and that it should be called off. And there should be a statement where the four of the aspirants would sign that this wasn't working. What happened? It does look like it was played.
Thank you,
Do you think so?
And channels for the opportunity. I am not easily given to this kind of situation while I retort or I join issues with my colleagues that I have very high regard and respect for. But certainly the issue of politicking and politics, behind the scene discussions and permutations and meetings being held before they come out to the public. It takes a lot of time, a lot of issues to be discussed. Yes, we had discussed earlier on that this thing was taking long and we were almost going to the stage where each aspirant would submit his form and the rest. The thing is not working as we wanted because what we did was to come together out of our free volition, as he said, and we thought we will reduce rancor and close rank and give one of the elders, not the PDP elders, one of the elders of the North. It is not a party affair. It is not a party responsibility. It is a communal responsibility that we decided to put on our elder, who is well respected in the North. And we agree that General Babangida is eminently qualified because he has no personal interest. He can also do it for other parties. He's a bipartisan person. He is a statesman. And so we went to him and said he can choose between the four of us because we couldn't really agree to leave it to any one of us. And so it was taking long and time had come, and some of us, we have the opportunity of going for the governorship or the presidency. It would have been easier if he said, okay, Bala, you are not running, Aminu is running, or any one of us. So we discussed and said maybe if it cannot be done, we may issue a statement. Then suddenly he called that we should come. We did not know the processes he had embarked on. We did not know that he involved the Northern Elders Forum so much that elders were involved, not on partisan basis.
So you're not aware, ab initio, that Professor Ango Abdullahi was in the picture?
We know, but he involved him. He was not given any condition.
He set up the process?
Yes, he set up the process. He was to take a unilateral, free decision that we all believe it is going to be acceptable to us. But he decided to bring Northern Elders Forum, and the chairman is Professor Ango Abdullahi. On his own part, he reached out to some other elders within the 3 geopolitical regions of the north. And of course, they did some voting. We didn't know all this. I didn't know the people he involved. So at the end of the day, he had to be working behind the scene too, so that this thing will have credibility. This thing will have acceptability. It is not a party issue. It is a community responsibility given to him, and he decided to use the elders to.
So let's get it clearly.
And so
the four of you agreed
yes.
that General Babangida should midwife this.
Exactly.
You went to him.
We went
and
to
he
him.
agreed.
He never asked us.
Okay. So now, what happened? Why was it that it was only 2 of you that went to General Babangida on Friday?
3 of us.
Leaving. Was Mr. Ayatudin there?
Yes, he was.
So it was only Governor Tambua that was left out?
He was.
So
only,
why was it left out?
We don't know. We don't know whether he had a premonition of the results. I don't. Because I thought any one of us could have imagined or could have emerged. I didn't know it was even going to be a dual endorsement. So maybe he had a pre-knowledge or premonition of what would happen, and he decided to back out. But certainly, I respect his opinion and feelings. And what I don't understand or don't want to join issue with is the issue of making it a partisan issue. It is not a PDP elders forum.
This is a northern affair.
It's a northern affair given to the
all
elders.
Political parties.
Yeah, exactly. So we give them, they are not PDP members. And if we wanted PDP members to do, we would have gone to maybe the former governors of the PDP, or we would have gone to the party. And the party had a way in our constitution for doing this. That is to go for primaries. We were doing a pre-primary, pre-partisan kind of selection that will reduce rancor and close rank. And so, to me, this endorsement that Babangida and his group did is the most credible, is voluntary, and we have accepted it in good faith. And for them to reject it is also their own democratic right to reject it. But certainly, to me, we don't have to diminish or demean those elders who really took responsibility without their own inkling at our own instance, and they spend so much time and resources to do it. And if we don't praise them for doing what they have done, then of course we are not doing a good service to them.
So if you say this was a northern affair, but some northern elders are already rejecting it, let me show you what the Northern Elders Forum. They've already disowned Professor Ango Abdullah's decision to be part of the process. They already said Professor Ango Abdullah acted on his own volition, and they said it is in own personal capacity. Take a look at what the Northern Elders Forum was released through the publicity secretary of the forum. They say, and I read part of it, it is important to make clear that the entire process did not involve the Northern Elders Forum as a group and is not a product of the group. Professor Ango Abdullah is free to undertake any lawful activity as a citizen, and genuine misinterpretations of this role are understandable. Northern Elders Forum is not affiliated to any political party or aspirant, and is strongly committed to the creation of a level playing field which will allow the emergence of the best leaders in the 2023 elections. It has also remained consistent in its conviction that all parts of the country should play their parts freely, unhindered by restrictions which offend principles of inclusion and fairness. That is a statement from the Northern Elders Forum saying, look, we do not take part of it. So if you say that this is a Northern Elders affair, but the Northern Elders Forum, which has become
this is
sort of a Northern...
Chairman, this is the opinion of the publicity secretary.
Speaking on behalf of the Northern Elders Forum.
No, he cannot speak on behalf of what his chairman had already said. It is a sign of insubordination, and I found it unbecoming, because certainly if the chairman comes up with a statement on behalf of the organization, it is really unbecoming for the secretary to come and issue a statement disowning it. Maybe showing there were some premonitions, permutation, expectation that this consensus will favor others or someone other than myself and Saraki. And God has a way of doing this. To me, it is a mandate. And I respect my partners in the consensus. If they are not compatible, the chairman of the Northern Elders Forum said, you are free to go and run. I am running with them. I'm not afraid of running. If it has collapsed to this level, there is no need to disrespect or to harm to put a lot of disrespect to our leaders who have done so much, taken so much time just because they wanted to oblige what we have voluntarily gone to them to do. So certainly this, I have not seen this statement until now that has been done by Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed. He is free to his opinion, but certainly I will take the opinion or the direction of the chairman of his forum, whom he has shown so much insubordination to.
So what Professor Angwabulai did was not in his own personal capacity.
No.
He acted on behalf of the Northern Elders.
Yes, and he contacted so many elders, and they voted. And in the voting process, I got 10 votes. Saraki got 10 votes. Amin Waziri Tambol got 7 or 6, I can't remember. And then Hayatuddin got 5. Some people abstained. You see, it is not everybody in the forum that was contacted. They took a sample of opinion. It is not something that was subjected to all-inclusive voting of the Northern Elders Forum. And it is not a PDP Elders Forum. It is, as he said, a non-voluntary, non-partisan organization that is there to safeguard the interests of the North, and we felt we should do it behind the scene. This thing wouldn't have been exposed to this kind of vagaries that we are doing it today, but certainly it's unfortunate that it has reached this level. And I think it is better left to what it is today, that they said each and every one of us can go, and we are ready to do it. But certainly the mandate given to us by the Babangida umpire or committee that did this is giving us a lot of impetus, a lot of support and encouragement to go into this contest, and we hold no malice against other partners and even other compatriots that are running from the other sections of the country.
That is one of those opinions on the stance of the consensus. Let me give you yet another one. This is coming from the former governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Sule Lamido, and I'll read a portion of what he said. He said, having widely consulted party leaders across the 19 northern states and the FCT, it is hereby stated that our teaming party members and the general public that what is reported in the media is only the personal opinion of those who issued the statement and not the position of the PDP members in the North. Discussions are ongoing with all the aspirants in our party with a view to having a national consensus, if possible, at least working towards having a smooth, acrimony-free national convention. The position of the Northern Elders is not only injurious to the North, but equally injurious to the Northern aspirant. How do you react to that such?
Yes, first of all, he has said the truth that it is not a PDP Elders Forum. So he is not even considered by the four of us as someone that can do consensus for us. And he cannot appoint himself as a former governor to do a consensus for us. He may have his own opinion, and of course we know it, but certainly we have a lot of respect for him. And it has not come to the level where he is saying that we are going into the primaries. This is a pre-primary arrangement for somebody that we have so much collectively given respect to do. And as regards the injury, I don't know where it will cause injury when we are closing rank. Unless, of course, we met him and his group of states where we don't have PDP, composed mainly of former PDP governors. And we discussed with him. Even at that meeting, he agreed that this thing wouldn't have come because you should have come to them. And I told them that our decision was not to come to you, because most of you have your own opinion. You have your own interest. We are going to a bipartisan, non-interested person that represent that, respect that omnibus, monolithic categorization of the North, where we believe if he says this, he is saying it because of statesmanship, because there is no personal interest. But certainly you can see what he is saying is mark of personal interest, and I have a lot of respect for him, but I felt that what he did, maybe if it were another person that emerged, he wouldn't have said what he said.
Okay, so let's take a look at a few issues that was raised by Governor Tambuwal. He said, ab initio, that this was not working, even before the voting of Friday. Was that true?
The voting was not done on Friday.
When was the voting?
It was done by the Northern Elders Forum within the 2 weeks that we are going around together with Tambuwal and Aminu and Hayatuddin to other members of the PDP, including the Sule Lamido group, the PDP governors, and all the stakeholders that we believe should understand. Nobody said no. Except Sule Lamido that was cautioning in his own wisdom. But certainly, Aminu knew that there was some sort of collaboration, interaction, and consultation being done. The voting was not done just in Mina when we went because there were no persons other than Professor Ango Abdullahi and President Babangida, who was the mentor behind everything. And so it is not correct to say that the voting was done and it has failed. It is only when some of us raised the issue that this thing is not coming up as quickly as we wanted because we have given him an open check. We have given President Babangida an open check to do whatever he likes, to select one of us. He can even be arbitrary and subjective, but we believe in him, we trust him. It's a matter of trust. And for him to have involved Northern Elders Forum, it was his decision to do it so that he can expand the expanse of consultation. And I think he did very well. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing I can do other than to praise him and to thank him for doing what he has done when he was given absolute discretion to do it unilaterally. And he involved an organization which he felt it is a communal organization that is non-partisan, as Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed has said.
Now, I just want a few quick questions clearly so that the allegations or the issues raised by Governor Tambuwal, I wanted us to get your view and get them really clarified. First and foremost, did Governor Tambuwal raise an alarm or raise an objection that this consensus idea wasn't working? Did he?
He was not the only one who raised it. All of us raised it, that it is taking too long.
Was it that it was taking too long, or but that it was not working? He said categorically that he saw that it wasn't working.
If he believed it is not working, that's why he didn't even follow us to Mina. And I respect his opinion if he feels it is not working. For me, it was working, and it has worked well. And because I emerged, I'm very happy that I emerged as the endorsed person along with my colleague. And so it is natural for him to feel, if he is not feeling that this, maybe he had a premonition, it will not favor him. It's the issue of favor. Maybe if he had favored him, it would have worked. For me, I respect his opinion, and I agreed with him. He is my friend, my brother. He is free to go and join. Maybe at the end of the day, this endorsement, he may even pick the ticket. Who knows? Because there are other eminently qualified Nigerians from other parts of the country. This thing should not cause these hues and cries. It is just a process that is non-political, non-partisan. It is something that we are doing it at the communal level, which we felt we can trigger something in terms of coming together. Okay. And it has worked in a manner that I don't expect it to.
Now, so another part of, since you said, oh, he raised it, it was the fact that he raised that the objection that it wasn't working. Secondly, was there an agreement that the four of you should sign a statement saying that this was not working?
No.
He said Senator Saraki was saddled with the responsibility to release a document stating that this was not working.
Senator Saraki was leading our group, and we said if it is not, we don't hear from Mina, we can sign a statement that this thing has not worked, because we will have to go and submit our forms and continue. We have reached a level of no return. Remember, we told the Nigerian public that not all of us must not subject ourselves to primaries or to even screening. Most of us deferred our declaration so that at least we can show unity and love. But certainly it has not worked. He's free to say what he has said, but I believe you understand the situation very well. I don't want to insult anybody.
Because, I mean, the allegation is that there is a working from the answer to the question, and that is what it feels like, because when you hear Governor Tambuwal, it does feel like it's being played out. Now, the question is, was General Babangida responsible? I mean, was it the one who invited the four of you, or was it Senator Saraki who sent the message? Because according to Governor Tambuwal, he said he just got a WhatsApp message from Senator Saraki talking
Saraki
about...
had always contacted the president on our behalf. and we have gone to the president 4 times. So it is not a question of manipulation or behind the scene anything. He just decided to opt out, and it is his right to opt out. But he should remember we told the public that 4 of us are not going into the primaries together. So if he decides to change his mind, there is no need to use anybody as to carry the cross of that change of mind.
So every time that you went to Minna, it has always been Saraki, giving the invitation, sending out the invitation.
Yes, liaising, because you remember when we were going around, Saraki was always talking and briefing whoever we met on our behalf. And when we come out, he briefs the press. You have been seeing him. So he has taken that leadership on our behalf, which we gave him by virtue of the office he held. I'm older than all of them, except for Mohammed. But we gave him that leadership. That is how far we have come in terms of coming together. And so we will always ask him, Mr. President, you should, Senate President, you should call me now to find out if we come. Remember, he said Saraki was to put up a draft on our behalf.
So why didn't he do that?
Because it was not necessary. We got the word that we should come. Do we disrespect the president whom we have asked on our own free volition to do a consensus for us, and he said he's ready, and we refuse?
Did Governor Tambuwa get this explanation?
He did. He told you that he got the text that we should go to Minna.
But did he get the explanation why that agreement of signing a draft did not come through? Because, his own grievance is that it was supposed to be a draft for everyone to go his own way. All of a sudden, there was an invitation to go to Minna.
That is what he wanted. The 3 of us didn't want that, because the president called us. We cannot rubbish and diminish the president.
So you have full force of support of the Northern Elders right now?
Yes, we have.
So why is he
not full?
When you say consensus, the imagination of a lot of people before Friday was that one person was going to be picked.
Yeah.
Why 2 people?
Because we tied on 10 points each, me and Saraki. And if you listen to Professor Ango, he said we should go and further discuss with each other, me and Saraki, so that one of us will emerge. And this is what we are doing. Remember that we have our brother, the Waziri Adama, he's also from the north. He's not part of what we have done. So it's
why didn't he join? Because in the initial stage, you were saying that Atiku Abubakar
he didn't want to join, but he supported us to go ahead. And we understood. And this is somebody's right. It's his exercise of his universal suffrage. We cannot question him. He is coming with a big pedigree and antecedent in politics, and the 4 of us came together. We went and briefed him. He didn't discourage us, and he neither discouraged or said he was joining, so we left him. And we were always waiting for the time that we'll go back to him. Certainly we knew he was there, because he is an eminent member of the northern politicians, and he is not part of the consensus. So even if...
Did he say we respect the consensus? Because if it was the Northern Elders that are throwing their weight behind...
No, but you had his statement that a statement had been issued also that he doesn't respect the consensus, because if he respects the consensus, that means he's not going into the primaries. And I respect him. So nobody is afraid of anybody going into the primaries. What we have gotten is a nod. It's an encouragement. It's a booster. Yeah. Me and Saraki, and we are going into this. Irrespective of what anybody feels, we feel highly encouraged, and we appreciate the role played by our elders who have been involved, and we apologize if their privileges and rights are impinged upon by some of the comments that are unbecoming and unnecessary, because we subjected ourselves to this kind of assessment, this consultation. At the end of the day, it has gone sour, and it's unfortunate that it has gone this way, but certainly I, for one, respect whoever participated in the consensus, because I don't know most of the people who even voted for me. I have a big burden of responsibility to really carry this assignment that is given to me, because those who even voted for me, I didn't go to them. I don't know whether any of the members of the consensus knew them, but for one, I am just getting to know who voted after the announcement of the result by Professor Ango.
So I just have like 30 seconds or so to go to break, but let me ask you these 2 quick questions, and I hope that maybe you might be able to respond to them quickly. The first being, have you started speaking with Senator Saraki about having a consensus between both of you?
Certainly, even from the day we were directed by former president, we started talking. We are talking even yesterday. We were talking. We were even to go to the iftar activity in the villa together. But he had an assignment to undertake in Ilorin. He couldn't come back on time. Even this night we'll talk. We are always talking.
What process are you going to subject yourself to achieve a consensus between both of you?
This is a matter of our mutual understanding and respect.
So it's going to be between you and Senator Saraki?
Yes, actually.
Are you willing to step down for him?
I know I cannot say it now, but if he gives me cogent reasons that that convinced me and convinced the people I'm going around with as my team, definitely why not? I said this is not about my personal ambition. It is not about my personal interest. It's about Nigeria, about knowing that even Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, Hayatuddin, we are all eminently qualified. We don't have to overheat the system by showing so much destruction and division and rancor. So, both myself and Saraki, we are ready to concede to each other, and we'll do it in a manner that is statesmanly and is going to be
all right,
nice.
Quickly too, if you speak with him, are you asking him to step down for you?
I will, because I want to emerge, definitely. I will try to convince him to step down for me, and he will try to convince me to step down for him.
Is anybody midwife in that conversation?
No, we are
just both
enough
of you
to do. If we cannot, the two of us will go.
Okay. We'll take a break, everyone, and when we return, our conversation with Governor Bala Muhammad continues. And we take a further look at a jostle for the PDP presidential ticket. Things are getting really competitive, is it? We'll find out more from the Governor of Bauchi. So stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us right here on the program. Sunday Politics on Channels Television. I've been speaking with the Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Muhammad, and a PDP presidential aspirant, one of the consensus aspirants decided on by the northern leaders at the hilltop residence of former President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for coming tonight. Thank you again. Now, between yourself and former Senate President Bukola Saraki, from your party's point of view, who do you think can carry the burden of going to the polls and challenging whichever political parties out of the 18 that exist and win for your party?
It is not for me to answer this question because out of modesty, I don't discountenance anybody. I don't underrate anybody. I prefer to be underrated. It is where I bring surprises.
As an underdog?
As a person, I have never lost election. And look at my pedigree. As a media man, a generalist, a civil servant for 25 years, rising to the position of director in railways, in meteorological agency, a world body, in aviation, in the presidency, in cabinet secretariat, being a minister, a senator, and now a governor. You see the experience I'm carrying. I am eminently prepared and ready. And anybody who underestimates me is underrating me at his own peril. Because I know what I can do for Nigeria. I am not coming to politics or aspiration blindfolded by personal interests. I know that some of the secrets I am using, that I use in Abuja, that I'm using in Bauchi to bring development and to also rescue the country from where it is. So it is not for me to say I am better qualified than anybody. All of them are qualified. But Nigerians will use their senses of judgment, their own sensibilities, their perception to determine, to decipher who is the best. And I believe they will give me the opportunity if they look very well, because certainly I'm not coming in without getting prepared for it.
In the beginning, when you set out on this journey to wanting the ticket of your party as a presidential candidate, you went to your former President Goodluck Jonathan. Yeah. And one of the things that you were reported to have said was that if he's in the race, you were not to run. Yeah. Do you still stand on that promise?
I do, but I have gone to a point of no return. In fact, I will be seeing him very soon. He is one of those persons I respect most in this country. He is the most respected person I have because I emerged and came to national limelight through him. But certainly we have come to establish a family relationship with Jonathan. And to me, he cannot be in the race and I will be in the race out of respect and modesty. And I have given him enough time. He has asked me to go ahead, and I have gone ahead. I have even gotten another burden now, the mandate of my elders to continue. So if Jonathan is running, it's a very big problem to me. I will have to sit down with him and others, especially the elders, who, no matter how loose people appear to see my endorsement, it's a big problem for me to chicken out. But I mean it. I cannot be contesting with Jonathan for the same position in life, because he is my boss, he is my mentor, and he is my elder. So irrespective of where he comes from or who he is, to me he is the most respected person that I have. So I still harbor that feeling, but I know he is not likely to run, having seen me gone so far into this race, because whatever I become, I emerge through him. I know he will need to be there because he's a good person, he was a good president, and he was called all names and fairly, and there was nobody that was better than him. He was better than the present administration. Maybe he needs to come back and redeem that, to rebrand himself. But my assumption or ascension to governorship is a rebranding, is a way or manner that God uses to say that Jonathan is a good man, and of course, if I become, it is his son, it is his protege, it is his own brother that is a president. But certainly, I agree with you. I have made that commitment, and I stand by the commitment. Even if we are reversing, it is left to him to see the burden of his responsibility as a father, as an elder. Having seen me going through up to this level, where I got the endorsement of my elders, even though the endorsement is being contended. Yeah. But certainly it is something to say that he should be proud of. He should be proud to say his son has gone so far and give me the boost, because if there is anybody that I want to assist me to go far, is him.
Is your political godfather?
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, in the scheme of things now, it came to light that former President Goodluck Jonathan might be running on the platform, or might be joining the APC, where he might be seeking the ticket of the APC. That's what is being reported. Do you have an idea of that?
Yes, I heard about it. That is one of the reasons why I came. You know, I came to see him to discuss that issue, because I saw it on the papers and I saw it on the channels that some people are urging him to run. I had several discussions which I don't want to divulge here, and he has given me assurances and the go-ahead to run. And if something, since are changing, I should be able to know as the first son of the family. And so we will be able to sort out this very soon, by the grace of God. But certainly, with the coming of so many candidates in the APC, I don't know, he will look at his chances, and of course, to me, I don't have any issues to join with him.
Now, the NEC is to act on the report of the Governor Autumn Committee on zoning.
No.
Should the report or the decision of the NEC, which is going to happen next week on the 4th of May, should it not favor your zone? What would you do?
I will oblige. I'm a party man. I have stood for this party for too long, Sheikh. I have been at the center. I have midwifed several conventions for the party. I know the supremacy of the party. But certainly that will be the decision of NEC, which is the highest body after the convention. But whatever it is, no matter how far we have gone, the party has the right to take a decision that will affect us. Me, as a person, I will not be like the rest to say that if something does not favor me, I will not agree. I will agree.
It's not a do or die affair.
No.
What are your expectations ahead of that NEC meeting?
Maybe there will be the report, and we will discuss it and we'll take a point. I don't want to preempt NEC.
Because what we heard from some of the members is that that committee may have thrown it open.
Yeah. You know, I did a committee that threw it open because of what we have discussed with public. But I don't want to preempt the feelings of Nigerians. There are so many sensibilities over there. I have a pedigree which anybody can look at. I don't believe in sectionalism or on zoning. I believe in Nigeria first. I believe that Nigerians should be given the opportunity to get the best. But put that aside about merit and then rotation, which is the key, because we are a federating entity, country. We must look at how zoning came into being in PDP. I am a PDP man to the core. I don't look at this aberration called APC administration as having any effect on me as a PDP man.
You don't think that whatever years that the APC has spent in power
had nothing to do with it?
It doesn't?
Yes.
Okay, let me show you these quickly, which will lead me to yet another question. And this is what we've mapped out, tried to put together how many years that have been spent with different zones of the country since 1999, from former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who spent 8 years in power, to former President Omogunsho Yar'Adua, who died in office, and to Goodluck Jonathan, who spent about 5 years, 3 years from Musa Yar'Adua, then President Muhammadu Buhari of the APC would have spent 8 years in 2023. So if you look at this permutation and look at the number of years that have been spent, the question is, where do you place your southern colleagues in all of this?
You see, in party politics, in a multi-party democracy, you look at your party. The PDP had been in power for 16 years before we were ousted in 2015. And the last president whom I supported with my life and blood was from the South. And so, out of these 16 years, the North had only 2 years of Yar'Adua. And it is only normal that we look at the periods where this zoning was conducted from 1999 to date. It was conducted 7 times. 4 times was given to the South. Only 3 times to the North. And in 2 occasions we didn't win. So, I mean, our southern compatriots should look at us as northern upcoming politicians who want to also actualize our aspirations, who have not had a stint in the presidency. Looking at my zone from the northeast, we have never been there at all. So we should look at this from a collective perspective.
Some people will argue that North Central also will claim the same.
North Central, they have been there during the military regime for 19 years. They have been president. A president is a president.
It doesn't matter whether it's
democratic or distant. The Northwest, 23 years. The South 6 years. The Southwest, about 16 years.
So as far as you're concerned, the 8 years that Buhari would have spent in 2023 does not count where you stand when you look at the scheme of things.
It counts in APC because morally they must devolve, they must rotate their presidential aspirant to the South, because Buhari emerged from here. But as for me, my last president is from the South, and none of the northern aspirants won. So it is the time for the North.
Aren't we talking about Nigeria here? I mean, people in your party and the Nigerians, people in APC and the Nigerians.
Are you saying that the moment we assume and collect the ticket, we are president? Does it mean that we'll just say that we will zone this into a section of the country or zone it to somebody's room before it becomes fair? And can't you see our own side of the story? 16 years of our party in power, we only had 2 years.
Some members of your party have argued that in 2019, none of the southern interested aspirants went for the ticket. They left it to the northern aspirants.
That is their own free volition. Even in 1999, when it was zoned to the south, somebody contested. The same thing in 2004. Somebody contested. You see, the exercise of one's universal suffrage should not be clouded. It's a constitutional right. It should not be zoning or making things to look regional. I only know about Nigeria. I know that, of course, we have micro-constituencies that are aspiring to be part of the national leadership. And we should talk of how to bring about good governance, all-inclusive governance, good leadership, using merit and looking at all the permutation, all the federating entities. Southeast, Northeast, we have never been there. If you are going to say Southeast, I agree. Northeast, I will agree, but not to say that I will be stopped. because I come from the north and that I am eminently qualified, and I believe in my party I have contributed as much as I can. And of course, the zoning did not favor us at the time we got zoning, except one that a president died and he served for only 2 years, and the north is still feeling injurious because of this. So there is a need to even pacify the north by giving us the ticket, because in PDP we have the south had taken our own portion of the period where we would have run if Adwa had not died.
So if someone like Atiku Abubakar goes head to head with you, you will agree, or would you step down from him because he's from the northeast too?
What do you mean?
Atiku Abubakar is from the northeast, from Adamawa. You are also from the northeast. You're from Bauchi.
When I'm contesting now, I'm not looking for anybody from any zone. I'm looking at...
You are saying the consideration that you might give, that if someone comes from the southeast or from the northeast, you might understand, but not people from...
Why should I step down for him? Why can't he step down for me?
You think Atiku should step down for you?
Yes. Is he better qualified than me? I'm asking you, Shane, look at my pedigree.
He was a former vice president.
I was a former journalist, senator, civil servant, governor. So I have all this gamut of experience from all corners. I am more prepared. I am strong, I'm young, I'm agile, I have built bridges, I have goodwill across the country. The only thing that will make me to step down if Nigerians or party leaders, party members reject me.
Okay. So another question here is that it does look like your party will be facing a tough choice at the primary, perhaps even tougher than what it may be facing at the general elections, because if we look at the scheme of things, if we can put up some of the faces of those who are running for office in the PDP, it does look like you have an equal amount or number of, more people from the south, obviously, but it will be the south against the north for the ticket of your party. Is that healthy for the PDP? It
is not healthy. It is not even healthy for the other side, because it is all about competition, about contest. I have my friends in the south that I believe if they are given the ticket, I will support them wholeheartedly, and I have friends there, if I'm given the ticket, they will support me. So it is not unusual for us to have so many people. In Port Harcourt, we had about 12 or 13, I can't remember precisely. And even in APC, they are going to have more than the candidates that we have in both north and south. So it is something that is normal. It is not unusual. And we politicians, especially in PDP, we have the experience to make sure we emerge without too much division and rancor. I assure you, we will accept whoever emerges and we will work for the person.
There's an imminent danger that is being anticipated in your party. I'd like you to take a listen to your friend, your very good friend, the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, about what he says. He says that your party is in danger of extinction. Take a listen to Governor Nyesom Wike.
We have been in operation since 2015. And if you don't win this election in 2023, you can as well forget PDP. And so everything must be done to win this election. No sentiment should be brought in. No sentiment. Of all the aspirants, who can withstand this APC in this election? Whether the person from Anambra, you are from Sokoto, you are from Imo. Look at all of us. Who can withstand APC in this election? It is me.
You heard your friend. Can you withstand the APC?
I can withstand them beyond your imagination. It is not about rantings or about calling names. I respect my friend Wike. He's one person, if he emerges, I'm ready to support him because he has what it takes to deliver PDP. But he knows I have the pedigree and capacity to do it. I have delivered FCT here when Buhari was an aporia, when Buhari was an enigma in 2015. We won here, and I was the one who superintended it. I went to Bauchi and won my election against the APC. And you know Buhari is an enigma in Bauchi. So to me, I always like being undirected. I don't step out and say I'm the best. I will not say the way my brother has said that he's the only one. No, I'm also around. I know he's there eminently qualified, and if he gets
it... If you don't blow your trumpet, we will.
I will not blow my trumpet because I know what it takes to be modest. Modesty is the key, and you have to stoop to conquer. You have to show humility, and that humility is the key presidential accessibility that you must cultivate. I know some people are even more qualified than all of us that stepped out. Maybe you are more qualified than all of us. Who knows? So if we want to say he's the most qualified, he's not the best. To me, I respect him, I respect his opinion, but certainly I'm not the best. The best is yet to be seen, but what I know is collectivism, is consensus coming together, driven by knowledge. Before you step out, you cannot come out blindfolded and thinking that you are the only person that can do it. You must give allowance to others. You must know that God is in infinite mercy, has created us in different places and different capacity. I know my capacity, I don't know your capacity. Maybe you are better than me, I don't know.
On a final note, for someone who has been in power for a few years, the governor for about 4 years, 3 years plus, minister for some years, it might be easier to assess you on your fitness for office based on what you have done and what you have not done.
Yeah.
So what would you say that you will be campaigning on, or speaking to Nigerians on, that you've said you've done to make you deserving of being Nigeria's president?
Well, I will go back to history. When I was in FCT, I was able to bring development to FCT, investment, good governance. You have seen FCT. Even if you fly the airport road, you know what I have done. I have never claimed that I have done it because it was done by President Jonathan. And of course, in Bauchi...
Perhaps some people will argue the legacy left by Nasir El-Rufai.
No, that one, he had left before we did that one. It is not him. It is during our administration that it was done, including the Goodluck Ebele Jonathan Road. So we don't talk too much, but we have done so much to reduce the travel time in Abuja, to bring investment. You remember the controversy on the land swap that I was able to incentivize the private sector to bring 1.5 trillion naira. People thought it was naira in my pocket. I was subjected to a lot of investigation only to discover that the money was in the kitties of the companies that were coming. It is not something that has come to FCT because it is deeply knowledge-based, borrowing from global best practice. People did not understand. I believe in Bauchi what we are doing in terms of urban renewal, provision of water, education, health, and so on and so forth. You need to go to Bauchi. You have your reporters. What we have done within 3 years is amazing. What we do is to look inward and to be able to use small resources and do much, to come up with the best procurement policy that is not really over invoicing. I cannot understand why a road from Abuja to Kano will cost 750 billion naira when there are no additional hydraulics, where it's just an expansion because the road is there. So we need to reduce cost of doing things. We need to bring people together. There are so many positions. Presidency is just one position. We need to remove this aspect of nepotism where people feel excluded. You have to make sure you build bridges, reach out, become modest, and become accessible, deepen community engagement, give role to the traditional rulers, make sure security is okay.
Because we need to go now, and there is one question I always ask my guests who are gunning for the #1 office in the land. Unfortunately, I just have about 10 seconds to go, and the question is, what in your own mind do you think is Nigeria's biggest problem today?
Our biggest problem is lack of togetherness. The nation is not there. We have so many nationalities. What Governor Wike said is true. Let us not bring sentiments on the table. We should be able to bring the best. We should be able to assess people based on what they are, not from where they come from.
How do you hope to unite Nigeria?
I will bring people together. I will deepen leadership recruitment in a manner that everybody will have a sense of belonging in the country.
We need to go now. Brahma, sincerely thank you. Governor, Senator Bala Mohammed, Governor of Bauchi State, and our PDP presidential aspirant. Wish you the very best in your pursuit.
Thank you very much. So much. Thank you.
That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.